How you doing? Welcome to part 1 of why your stones are off. The number one reason why your stones are not going to weigh what they're supposed to weigh is that the mold sizes aren't exactly true. Now before I go on, I am no way blaming the manufacturer of whatever mold you are buying. Because I work in the plastics industry, I understand that theoretical yield versus practical yield is always different. On top of the fact that there's really no way to make each and every one exactly the same size. Every type of manufacturing there is has something called tolerance, including my own field. When I sell stones, I always tell people there's a 15-pound tolerance. It's usually more like 5, but 15 gives me more leeway, especially when it comes to custom-sized stones and custom-weighted stones. There's always going to be a difference between theory or the mathematics of it and the actual yield of what's going to happen, because there's so many factors. And in plastics and mold making, I'm sure it's no different. Do I know how they make molds for stones? I have an idea. I'm pretty sure they're form molds, where basically they melt a sheet of plastic and they slowly fold it over a form. I assume that's what it is. They may even do a vacuum method, but I'm thinking it's one of those two methods. I can't exactly see a blow mold being made for some of these stones, being the size of them are 22-inch molds and things like that, and that's way too impractical for injection molding, but I really don't know. I'm just guessing. So with all that being said, what I suggest you do first thing if you get your mold, measure. What I've found is that some of them are off by about 1/4 inch. And 1/4 inch can be the difference of 10 pounds, give or take, under or over. For example, the advertised size of an 18-inch mold, when I got mine, I finally measured it, it was actually 17.75 inches. Now doing the math, theoretically, it should have a volume of somewhere around 3,053.63 cubic inches of space inside this mold. In reality, it only has 2,928.15 cubic inches. Doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but if you do the math out, the volume difference is 125.48 cubic inches, which equates to about 9.6 pounds. Meaning, no matter what I do, there is absolutely no way that I can get it to weigh what it should weigh, according to the manufacturers, that is. And as I recall, an 18-inch mold should produce a stone that weighs about 240 pounds. And when you purchase these molds from various different manufacturers, they're going to advertise them to be able to make a stone that weighs about 240 pounds. Now if you do the math for an 18-inch stone using 5,000 psi concrete, you're going to come up with a theoretical yield maximum of 235 pounds, which is 5 pounds less than what they advertise. But after measuring my mold and realizing there was only 17.75 or 17 3/4, the actual theoretical maximum yield for this stone is somewhere around 226 pounds. It certainly explains a lot. Before you go off and start kicking yourself because you can't get a 240-pound stone out of an 18-inch mold, measure your mold inside diameter, just one of the halves, and then do your math to figure it out. We'll get into some of the math in a later video, but for now, just trust me, if your math is wrong, there's no way you're ever going to get a stone that you want. So always do good math, and be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode where I'm going to talk about concrete practices. And if you don't, then what's your excuse?